So, on our next series of In the Boardroom Conversations, we have our Director of Operations, Dean Mason, here with us, just to give us a little bit of insight on the behind the scenes happenings with CAD sourcing and operations with our clients. Dean, thank you for jumping into the video series.
Absolutely.
So I thought it would be good for people to kind of hear direct from you on how operations works and best practices and stuff like that. So first of all, just can you maybe give like a little overview of how a client gets onboarded with CAD sourcing?
Well, first, it's usually a phone call set up with the sales team. And then as we have the phone call with the client, he usually sends us over a template for his drawings, any CAD drawings that he may have, and a clear scope of work.
I think a lot of people nowadays are familiar with working with their teams remotely, as a lot of offices have gone remote and kind of dealing with the file transfers and everything. Once you got a client onboarded, how do they transfer files with you guys? How are they doing that?
We use a couple of systems. We can use our FTP system if they have one, and we can also use Dropbox.
And so we're relatively flexible, I think, is the answer, right? And,
right.
And what about CAD standards and stuff, and making sure that a file looks like it came out of our clients' offices at the end of the day? I mean, everyone has their own standards, the way they like doing things. How do you guys ensure that we're doing that for our clients?
Well, basically, our standards come from the client's templates. So when the client sends us his template, we make sure that we're using the standards as they say, whether they send a list of standards or if there's actually just included in the template, to make sure that when we do our final deliverable, it looks like what they're expecting and what their team would deliver as well.
How do you handle billing and that kind of stuff?
That's usually dictated by the client. If it's a client we do OSP work for, it's usually on a monthly type billing. If it's a client that we're doing lump sum work for, it could be weekly, it could be 2 weekly, bi-weekly, or it could be monthly as well.
And what about communication with the project manager on the client side? How does that handled? And who's making that communication with the project manager for our client?
As a project manager, it's our project managers on our side, whether it be myself or another project manager that we have. And then we just communicate directly with the client. We're always open for communication. And then that communication goes directly to the team.
And just like the regular engineering and architectural world, you're always on call, I imagine.
Absolutely, it seems that way.
Yeah, yep. It's the world we live in. All right, I think that's it. So thank you, and maybe we'll get you back on this video series another time. Thanks, Dean.
Excellent. Thanks, Brian.